What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review the final episode or the season finale episode of Real Housewives of Orange County. This is season 17, episode 16. So let's get into it. So before we get into it, y'all already know we gonna get a little spicy, just a little, and talk about these reunion looks. Okay, I was underwhelmed. Just like I was underwhelmed by the New York girls. They released their reunion looks. And I was expecting them to wow me, especially because they're supposed to be like the fashionistas. You got a model. You have Jenna Lyons over there, who's supposed to be a beast in the fashion industry, and then Jessel and all of them, and then you got Sai, who is known for being a fashion blogger. I just expected more. And I didn't get that. You know, I didn't expect much from OC because they always underwhelm me. And I was already underwhelmed. But it's just like, okay. I think the coolest thing out of this whole, like the reunion looks being released, and then they did a preview for the actual reunion for OC, was the backdrop. When I saw the backdrop, I thought they were filming outside. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, that is so cool to me that they're filming outside. Like, they've never done that before. And then they released a preview, and they're sitting on kind of like a sound stage with a live backdrop, and it sets and that is cool. That was cool as I don't know what. Like, when you look at the reunion pictures that are being sent out that we'll watch, they all have different times of days behind it. Like, some ladies, the background is darker. For other ladies, it's very high, and the sun looks like it's high. That is a cool concept to add to the reunions. I think it adds to it in such a wonderful way. But let's talk about these reunion looks. So let's get into these reunion looks. So first is Emily. If I have to give like a number off rip, I would give Emily a 6. I don't think the dress is ugly. I think the color is pretty on her, but I'm underwhelmed. Like, I want the drama. I want it's the reunion. Wow me. Like, that's why I enjoy watching or getting the looks for Atlanta, Potomac, and now Jersey. And sometimes even this far, like Miami as well, and Married to Medicine. Like, give the girls a theme. When there's a theme, I feel like we get better looks because it narrows down what they can pick from. And it's like you're picking from a smaller pool, so you're going to try your best to pick the best. I don't know. It's like Emily just giving business chic. Like, she's going to go to happy hour after the reunion, after working a long 9 to 5 at work. I think the dress is pretty. I don't really like her makeup, but it's not doing anything for me. So I'd have to give it a 6. Then we have Taylor. Girl, I think the Technicolor outfit is kind of cute. I like the ombre effect. I don't know what's up with her hair. Low-key, y'all, I think Taylor was drunk. I ain't gonna lie. With the small clip of her that I saw in the preview when she was like, come on, girls, I want a dirty fight. It was like, I said, oh, guys, somebody take the bottle away. But I do like the dress. The hair, not so much, but I would give her a 6 as well. Then we have Jen. Girl, Jen looks like she is going to sing a mean rendition of Amazing Grace at the 50th pastoral anniversary at Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Episcopal Church. I don't get the shoulder pads. I don't get the exaggerated sleeves. I don't get it. I said, Jen, where are you going? Like, the theme looks like I don't think they gave them a theme, but like the set is beach. Like, this is not giving beach. It's giving Sunday's best. I don't like it. I'm gonna have to give it a 5. I'm gonna have to give it a 5, and I'm trying to be nice because I really want to give it a 4. But I'm like, okay, it's her first reunion. Like don't be so harsh on her. Then let's go with Tamra. I'm kind of underwhelmed with Tamra. Same way I was underwhelmed with Heather. Like, to me, I would give both of them a solid like a 8. No, like a 7. No, I would give both of them a 7.5. Like, I like the colors on both of them. I like that Heather has on black. I like that Tamra has on pink. But it's like, give me more. Like, y'all are not technically, y'all are the veterans of this show. Like, I want to be wowed by them, and I really wasn't. I thought Heather's black dress was pretty, but it was just kind of like, girl, we know you got the funds. You got $55 million. You could give us more. Tamra, I'm just kind of like, it gave basic. Like, I could see, I think that's what it is. I can see everybody's outfits on OC, like them wearing it in the season. When the reunion comes, I want you to wear an outfit that I'm not going to see, that I'm going to be like, during the show, why did you have that on if we're not going anywhere like extravagant? I want the drama. I would say Emily to me was the best dress, and that's shocking. Y'all know it is, because y'all know I don't like her. But she looked nice. I thought the color was really pretty on her. I liked her hair. I liked the mini skirt with the slit. She looked young, fresh, and expensive. And I said, okay, Emily, you've been saving your checks. Okay, you've been saving them checks from wherever you work, Chili's, Applebee's, Red Lobster, TGI Fridays. Either way, you spent good money. You spent good money. I'm proud of you, lady. So I would say if I had to pick a best dress, it'd be Gina for me. It really would. And worst would be Jen. But who was your best dress and who was your worst dress? Let me know down in the comments below. But let's get into this review. All right, y'all. So the episode opens up and we're back in the OC. We see Shannon and Emily at the chiropractor. I am low-key terrified of chiropractors. Ever since I started reading articles about how people be dying from that, because I feel like I want to go. Because I feel like everyone always looks relaxed after it, but I'm afraid. I am so afraid. But we see Emily and Shannon at the chiropractor. We know Shannon has a huge bruise on her elbow after trying to slide her way off the boat, which I know for a fact the instructor told them to jump off of the boat for that reason, lady. Listen. So they're at the chiropractor, and then Emily and Shannon, after they're done getting the kinks worked out of them, they actually sit down and have a discussion. And they're pretty much talking about Heather and what went down in Mexico. Emily's like, she talked to Gina. They show a flashback of Emily talking to Gina. And Gina pretty much says she's hurt and she feels like she's been a good friend to Heather, even though she has not. She's a crappy friend. She a user. But that's just me, how I feel. but they're like talking, and then Shannon was like, I went up to Heather and I told her, why would you tell Emily that we were speaking negatively about her? What was the outcome of that? And Shannon was like, everything was going to be negative. It doesn't matter whatever we said. And Emily's whole thing is like, she thinks Heather has like she can be kind and she be cool, but there's a part of Heather that we don't see, or that's like manipulative and can be fake. So the conversation with them ends with Shannon talking about, well, we're going to have like a long, in-depth conversation with Heather. And I said, okay. So then we see this scene of Gina, Jen, and Tamara meeting up at the Halloween shop. We find out that the end of the season party is going to be a huge Halloween party that Gina is throwing. What I will say is Halloween is like my second favorite holiday. And it's weird because when I was a kid, I wasn't really that invested in Halloween. I just wanted the candy. But as I've gotten older, I really enjoy Halloween. I've started decorating. So I'm just saying, you're never too old to enjoy things, okay? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you could be 59. If you enjoy Halloween, enjoy it. If you enjoy Christmas, enjoy it. If you enjoy Thanksgiving, hell, even Flag Day, just have fun, Life is too long and too short at the same time not to enjoy holidays. Like, ugh. So Gina says Halloween's like her favorite holiday. So she's excited, and the girls are meeting her there to find their costumes. Tamara's going to be a clown because she is a clown. A court jester, a fool. But you know what? It's what it is. And her friend Jen is right along there with her, being an extra clown herself, because ain't no way I'd be cool with Tamara after all of the things she has done. So they're there, and pretty much Tamara asks Gina, like, do you need help with anything? And Gina's like, can you help me fix Heather DeBro? And so they started talking. Gina's whole thing is like, she wants respect from Heather. She was like, she's going to have a conversation with Heather. We find out that she texted Heather about the Halloween party. And she's like, Tamara doesn't lie. She just holds on to information. So I definitely believe that Heather called us losers. And now she feels some type of way. Jen ends up saying that maybe Heather just has an image that she really wants to protect. And she's just very guarded. Tamara feels like Heather is trying to take her down, and that's not going to happen on her watch, when it's the reverse. Like, Tamara has been has an underlining issue with Heather, and they showed it throughout the episode. So Gina's like, you know what, I'm going to have a conversation with her, and hopefully it goes well. We then see Heather and Terry at their like rental property, a very nice rental property. Okay. It has 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It has a nice little pool area. They have the private chef there, and they're sitting down. Terry and her are sitting down talking, and she ends up telling Terry, she was like, I just feel like I'm just ripping and running. So we know Heather sold her house. They had to leave the house within 3 to 4 weeks, I think. Then they were in the penthouse, and then they were in the hotel house. Not a house, but the hotel. Then they moved into this rental home. She was just like, it just feels like everything's just going, and I just haven't had a time to catch my breath. So they sit down, and she tells him about how, the girls really came at her in Mexico. And even Terry was shocked that Gina believed what Tamara said. Terry was like, Gina really believed that you called her and Emily losers. And Heather's like, yeah. And I just like, I like at this point, I don't know. And I'm glad that Terry clocked it. Terry was like, so now that the cool girl's in charge, or the alpha cheerleader is back, now they're all trying to like run and kiss the ring and trying to be with her. And she was like, yeah, like, cause I don't understand how this all like shifted. And then they show a montage of like Heather counting all the times that Tamara pretty much has messed up her relationships with the ladies. Like, she talks about, I'm getting ahead of myself, y'all. I'm getting ahead. But Heather is seeing that Tamara is the one that's been causing all the strife between her and the other women. And so Heather ends up reading the text message that Gina sent her. And she's like, I don't even know if I want to go. And Terry's like, no, be open, have an open mind. And Heather was like, my mind is closed. I don't blame Heather. Like, at this point, y'all keep trying me. And I'm tired of being tried. I am tired of being tried. So we then end up seeing Ryan and Jen have a conversation. And pretty much Ryan is stupid at this point, because Jen is not leaving Ryan, even though she has like reservations about him, which are understandable because he's the town whore. But if I was Ryan, I would be tired of Jen too. Like, he ends up saying, like, I don't get how we keep going back to the past when every time you ask me something, I tell you the truth. And Jen's whole thing is that she just felt like Tamara, when they were in Mexico, was telling her something she didn't know, or she knew more to the story. And I honestly don't think it's that. I think Ryan, and I'll give this man a little bit of credit, I think he actually, for the most part, has been honest with her. For the most part, I feel like he's been honest. I still kind of feel like maybe he had more than a one night stand with that lady. Like I said last review, I felt like he was not, like, there was something about the way they were talking on the phone that made me feel like, you probably did sleep with that lady longer. But it seems like he's been very forthcoming with information that at this point, if y'all know Jen's not gonna leave, and I think Ryan knows that as well, why do y'all keep throwing it in her face? I also think Jen has reservations about Ryan because of his past, but also she's looking at herself in a negative light. She has, I guess, started the ball rolling with the divorce, or trying to figure out how to like garner her own income. And right now she's not really making no money like that because she didn't know where the money was coming from. I tell y'all this all the time. There's nothing wrong with living the soft life, but if you're living the soft life and the money that man or woman or whoever has more money than you is giving you money, and you're not hiding that money or stashing it in a bank account they don't have access to, you're not living smart. Because and that's the other thing, you should always know how things are paid. Like, you should know what credit cards are on the bills. You should know when your bills get paid. You should know all of those things, especially if if you like, I don't know. The only people I trust like that is my parents. I have never put that much trust in a significant other to ever think that they would pay bills on time like that, because you never know. You never know. So she was talking about not knowing how things are being paid, and how Ryan was willing to give her money, but she don't want the money because she's like, no, I need to do this on my own, which I understand where she's coming from. But she said something, because I was kind of confused, that she doesn't even know, she doesn't even have, I guess, the money that I guess is needed for something. I don't know, y'all. I was just surprised that she was like, I'm not really getting paid from the yoga studio. Girl, how you not getting paid? Why are we not getting paid? But then again, it's a brand new business, and y'all know, isn't it like 3 or 4 years until you start making viable income from any business you do? My God, today. We finally have to sit down with Gina and Heather. And Heather walked in. You could tell she was already irritated. Like, she did not want to have this conversation with Gina. So she sits down and she's just kind of like, okay, what's up? Like, you asked me to be here. Like, what's good? What's up? What you want to do? What you want to do, sis? And Gina was like, Heather, I came to talk to you because I feel like I've been a good friend to you. And Heather's like, have you really been a good friend? And it's crazy how the tables have turned, because in the beginning of the season, Heather was talking about how Gina wasn't really being a good friend to her, not inviting her to events that she was throwing, and Heather was feeling left out. Now you have Gina saying like, oh, I've been a good friend to you. And it's kind of like, you haven't really been a good friend to her. So, and Heather brings up, like, it's crazy to me how Gina is believing Tamra after Gina was warning me about Tamra in Montana. Like, it's so easy. So then Heather is like, okay, I don't think you've been a good friend. And Gina's like, well, you can understand my emotions because I was angry because you called us losers. And Heather was like, I don't get how you believe Tamra, and I never called you losers, and I'm going to prove it. So she pulls out her phone and she's playing Tamra's podcast, and her and Teddy are talking. It's Tamra and Teddy on their podcast, and you hear Tamra call them losers. Like, I think she said, I don't want to take a picture with these losers or something like that. So then Gina moved the goalpost again, where she's like, well, okay, so Tamra didn't call us losers, but you knew Tamra, okay, Heather didn't call us losers. Like, you didn't call us the losers, Heather, but you knew Tamra called us the losers and you never told us. And it's like, what do you want from her, Gina? It's a podcast. If you wanted to listen to it for yourself, you could have listened to the podcast yourself. Like, what are you talking about? So then now Gina's like, okay, I understand. Now she's trying to like get back in Heather's good graces now that Heather proved that she wasn't the one to call them losers, her and Emily. So she's asking, Gina's asking Heather, like, are you going to come to my Halloween party? And Heather's like, girl, I really don't know. I don't know if I want to be around y'all. And Gina's like, no, Heather, you have to come because you need to confront Tamra, because this is not okay. And then that's when in the confessional, Heather's like, Tamra has been causing strife in all of my relationships. She said the situation with Shannon, they did the party where she was going around telling Shannon that Heather's been telling everyone that there's issues in your relationship with John. Then you have with Taylor and the whole like the IMBD situation and making fun of Heather's like film category, like catalog, I mean. And then with Gina, the whole calling them losers. And then, Emily. And Heather even said, like, I don't even trust Emily anymore because Emily has drank the Tamra Kool-Aid, and every time me and Emily get together, it's a fight. Like, so what am I being friends with her for? And so Heather's pretty much just like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to be around y'all no more. But Gina's pushing for her to come to the party. So Gina's party. It was a nice party that I can tell production paid for. I wasn't impressed with the outfits, really. I think the only two people's outfits I liked were Heather's and Emily's. I thought they were the most unique in the party. Like, Heather was an aerial acrobatist, and then Emily was popcorn. And I thought that was cool, especially Emily's. I think Emily's was my favorite because no one else had the same outfit. Because at Gina's party, there were too many lion tamers, ringleaders, and lions. So Gina was a ringleader and the circus leader, and then Travis was a lion. I didn't mind that because it's her party. You had Shannon being a fortune teller, which there were like a few fortune tellers, and then you had John being a magician. Then you had Tamara and Eddie being clowns because they are clowns. Then you had Jen being a lion and Ryan being a lion tamer. And then Emily and Shane, Emily was butter. No, Emily was popcorn. Shane was butter. He just had on a shirt that said butter. And then Heather was the aerial acrobatist. And then Terry had on a event staff shirt with some really, like, Terry's arms are nice. Very, like, really nice, muscly, defined arms. And then I don't know what Taylor was, but all I could think of is this is drunk Glinda the Good Witch from Wizard of Oz. Because Taylor was drunk. She was deep throating ice cream. She was like, she thinks she's better than us. Slurring her words. She was grabbing on the Shannon, acting like she was going to hump her, talking about, I love you. I love you. Girl, you was drunk. He was drunk boots. Drunk down. The party ain't even started. Y'all must have been pre-gaming in the car. So before Heather gets there, nobody really knows if Heather's coming, but the girls get there. Emily's kind of feeling some type of way because she feels like Gina has flip-flopped, and Gina definitely has flip-flopped now that she's talked to Heather. And Emily's just kind of looking at her like, really? And Gina's just telling Emily, like, girl, pick a side, because I picked mine, and you should probably pick my side, but, you know, do what you do, girl. You might just want to make up with Heather. And Gina ends up telling Emily, like, no, Tamara called us losers and she played the audio for me. And Emily wasn't fazed by it, which is crazy to me because I think it proves how much Heather's opinion of them they value and how much stock they put into Heather, because you just found out that Tamara called you a loser and your immediate reaction was, well, Tamara calls us stuff all the time and she apologizes. Heather never apologizes. Girl, you call me a loser, I don't care who it is, I would probably have a problem with it because I'm going to be like, how and why? Like, what did I do that was loser behavior? So they like break up, like they stop talking. So then the rest of the ladies, they come and standing around this little table and they're all talking about Heather. Gina's like, I just want to have a good time. I don't want any problems. I want her to come here and enjoy herself. And Tamara's being extra, twirling around, talking about, you know, that's what Heather does. She twists everything and then she presents it to you. And pretty much saying that Gina got Heather memorized because she's like, you were just on our side and now all of a sudden you and Heather, like, what's up? What's up with this now? So then you have Shannon and Tamara having to sit down. And oddly, they get emotional. Like, they're like, Heather's not going to come in between our relationship. And I'm like, in what way has Heather came between your relationship or tried to come between your relationship? Heather legit just told y'all she felt left out and wanted to be included. Because I think in Heather's mind, she thought it was going to be the OGs versus the new girls. Because I Googled it. Tamara joined OC season 3. Heather joined season 7. And Shannon joined season 9. I think they thought like all three of them were going to be clicked up with Taylor. And then it was just going to be like, you know, the other girls. But she voiced her concerns. Heather said, you know, I just feel like I've been feeling left out and I don't like it. And y'all took it as she was trying to come in between your friendship, which is weird to me because that's not the case in my opinion. I don't even think she's trying to come in between y'all relationship. She wants to be a part of it more than anything. But it was weird that they started crying. I was like, what the hell are you crying for? And then in the confessionals, Shannon's getting teary-eyed, talking about hard friendships are hard to come by. And I'm like, you want a friendship with Tamara? Tamara, who called you an alcoholic and who was angrily talking about you for 2 years because she got fired and you didn't? Yeah, that's a friendship I would want. So Heather finally shows up. Tamara off rip is hating, trying to act like she don't understand what she is when you see the hula hoop. You then see Jen and Heather having a conversation where Jen is pretty much telling Heather, I'm sorry, because you might hear the girls, like, I've been talking about you to the girls about how I feel like you haven't been giving me a chance. And they squash it really quick because Heather's like, girl, first of all, I don't know why you talking to me when we cool and you still friends with the lady who's been embarrassing you and dragging you across the coals since episode 3. I've been cool. I actually think you cool. Maybe we should just get to know each other outside of the group like that. And they both were like, yeah, we're good. And then while Heather's having this conversation, you got Tamara Tamra over there being like, see, I don't like that body language. Oh, she's talking to everybody. She's talking to everybody. So then you see Emily and Heather sit down and have a conversation. And Heather pretty much tells Emily, you out here caping for a lady that pretty much says that you're not a lawyer, you're an event planner who maligns and demeans your character every chance she gets. And I'm the issue. And Emily's like, I'm definitely still practicing law. I said, Heather's like, let Tamra tell it, no, you're not. You're an event planner. And then Heather pretty much tells her, like, girl, I don't know what your issue is with me, but there's an issue. And then Emily out of nowhere starts crying too, where she's like, you know, when I heard that you called us losers, and Heather reiterates, like, girl, I did not call you a loser. And if I was referring to anybody being a loser, it was Noella. I never called you a loser. What are you talking about? But she was just like, when I heard that, you know, I've worked really hard to try to not be a loser. And I just find it funny that they say Heather puts herself on a pedestal, that she thinks she's better than them. But Emily just found out that Tamra was the one that Tamra also Tamra also called them losers, but you didn't care. You brushed over that really quickly. But the moment you find out that supposedly, or that Heather called y'all losers, you're breaking down and it's hurting you and you're having a visceral reaction to it. And that's because y'all put a lot of stock in what Heather has to say, because she's that girl. And that's why Tamra has an issue with Heather, because Tamra's the type of person where it's like there can only be one. There can only be one type of energy. So they squash it. Emily talks about how, like, the reason she is the way she is with Heather is because of her childhood. And Heather's like, you know what? I am strong, but I am sensitive. I grew up in a family that was very, like, emotionally cut off. Like, I got made fun of when I would cry at movies and stuff. So I do take those things personal. But they agree to move forward. They hug it out. Gina comes and sits down and they have, like, a happy kumbaya moment. So then you see them taking pictures. They're taking pictures. Everyone's excited. And then Tamra walks up at the photo booth, and Heather walks away because she don't want to be around Tamra no more. She tired of Tamra. And Tamra's like, oh, y'all are cool now? Like, y'all are cool? Like, she's checking the temperature of the group to see if the tide has changed between them, and it has. And so Emily tells her, well, she told us that you called us the losers. And Tamra's like, I didn't say that. Even though they played the audio of her calling them losers and saying that it was an inside joke between her and Shannon. Then she was like, but you also said that, like, I'm an event planner and that I'm not a lawyer. And Tamra's like, do you really think I said that? And Emily, not having the balls, is going to be like, I don't know. I just want to have a good time. Girl, you're weak too, girl. You're weak too. So then Tamra runs over to Heather like, really, Heather? You're out here saying that I said those things? And Heather's tired. Heather's done. Like, she's like, I don't want to talk to you no more. I don't. And then Tamra's like, well, you just don't want to believe in the truth. And Heather's like, no, girl, I don't believe in your truth. Your truth doesn't make sense. Your truth is made up, and it's always half lies and all of this stuff. So I don't want to hear it. So Tamra's calling Heather a bitch and yada, yada, yada. And Heather's like, girl, you really think I care that much? Like, you're under this misconception that I care about your friendship, your opinion of me, because I don't. And she walked away. I said, come on, Heather. And the thing is like, you could tell that Tamra wanted a moment. I think she thought Heather was going to throw her drink in her face, or they were going to have a big blowout. But Heather's at the point where she don't care no more. She's like, girl, I see you, Tamra. And once I see you, I don't feel the need for you anymore. So she walks over to the table. Gina's like, what's wrong? What's happening? Are you okay? And Heather's just like, I'm over her. I don't care. I'm over her. And then she's like, well, I really want to take a picture of all of us. So they forced them all to take a picture together. And it's just, that was the end of the episode. That was the end of the episode. So I'm somewhat looking forward to the reunion. The preview they gave us was really small, but I'm hoping that Heather stays on everybody's neck. I hope that she eats the girls all the way up, as well as I hope and pray Jen gets in Tamra's ass. Like, that lady embarrassed you the whole entire season. You better stay on her neck consistently throughout the reunion. No kumbaya, nothing. Same with Heather. Get them girls together. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic and hop down in them comments below. Deuces.